If you're doing calisthenics consistently, but your chest, arms, and back still look the same, chances are you're making one of these 5 mistakes. And no, it's not because bodyweight training doesn't work. It works extremely well when you do it the right way. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 most common calisthenics mistakes that are killing your gains, slowing your progress, and increasing your risk of injury. And more importantly, I'll show you exactly how to fix each one. By the end of this video, you'll know how hard to train, how to keep progressing without weights, why tempo matters more than most people think, why skipping pulling movements is a huge mistake, and how proper rest can actually help you build more muscle. Let's start with mistake number 1. Mistake number 1 is not training with enough intensity. This is one of the biggest reasons people do calisthenics for months and still don't see real changes in their physique. A lot of people stop their set way too early. They feel a little burn, they get a little tired, and they think that's enough. But for muscle growth, your body needs a stronger reason to adapt. If you finish a set and feel like you could have done 8 or 10 more reps, that set was probably too easy. A simple way to understand this is with something called RPE, which stands for rate of perceived exertion. But keep it simple. If a set feels easy, it's probably not enough. If it feels challenging and you finish with maybe 1 to 3 reps left in the tank, that's much better. For most muscle building sets, you want to train hard enough that the last few reps feel difficult while still keeping good form. That's usually where real progress starts to happen. So the fix is simple. Choose exercise variations that actually challenge you. If standard push-ups are too easy, make them harder. Use feet elevated push-ups, deficit push-ups, closed grip push-ups, or slow tempo push-ups. The goal is not just to move. The goal is to create enough tension to force growth. Now let's go to mistake number 2, and this one keeps a lot of people stuck for months. Mistake number 2 is skipping progressive overload. In simple words, progressive overload means your workouts need to become more challenging over time. If you keep doing the exact same reps, the same sets, the same variation, and the same rest every week, eventually your body has no reason to improve. A lot of people do 3 sets of 10 push-ups forever and wonder why nothing changes. But your body adapts. Once that workout becomes easy, it stops being a serious growth signal. The good news is you don't need weights to use progressive overload. You can add reps. You can add sets. You can choose a harder variation. You can slow down the movement. You can add pauses. Or you can reduce rest slightly. For example, if week 1 you do 3 sets of 8 push-ups, next week you might do 3 sets of 10. Then after that, maybe 4 sets of 10. Then maybe you move to feet elevated push-ups for 3 sets of 8. That is progression. The fix here is to track at least one thing every workout. Track your reps, your hold times, your sets, your variation, or your rest periods. If you're not tracking, you're just guessing. And guessing is not a good training plan. Now, mistake number 3 is something I see all the time, especially with beginners. Mistake number 3 is going too fast. A lot of people rush every rep. They bounce through push-ups, they drop into squats, and they use momentum instead of muscle control. The rep looks impressive for a second, but the muscle is not getting the quality tension it needs. When you move too fast, you usually lose control, reduce muscle activation, and make the exercise easier in the wrong way. Instead of your chest, shoulders, or legs doing the work, momentum starts doing more of it. The fix is to control your tempo, especially on the lowering part of the rep. A very simple rule is this: lower for about 3 seconds, pause briefly, then come back up with control. That one change can completely transform the quality of an exercise. Suddenly, push-ups feel harder, squats feel more controlled, split squats burn more, and you actually feel the target muscles doing their job. You do not need to make every rep painfully slow forever. But you should stop rushing through your reps like you're trying to finish the workout before your body learns anything. If you want a simple habit, count the lowering phase out loud. 1, 2, 3. That alone can fix a lot of bad reps. Now let's talk about one of the biggest mistakes in home training. Mistake number 4 is neglecting pulling movements. This is a classic problem. Many people do lots of push-ups, lots of chest work, lots of shoulder work, maybe some dips too, but they do almost nothing for the back. That creates an imbalance. Your back, rear shoulders, and biceps are essential for a strong upper body, better posture, healthier shoulders, and a more complete physique. If you only focus on pushing and ignore pulling, you can end up with rounded shoulders, weaker posture, and less overall muscle development. If you train at home, you still have options. You can do pull-ups, chin-ups, inverted rows, band rows, towel rows, or any safe pulling setup that works for your space. The fix is simple. If you do pushing work, make sure you also include pulling work. A good basic rule is to always have at least one serious pulling movement in your weekly routine. So instead of only doing push-ups and pike push-ups, also include inverted rows or chin-ups. Your body will look better, feel better, and perform better. Now let's move to mistake number 5, which a lot of people underestimate. Mistake number 5 is having no structured rest periods. Some people barely rest at all because they think more fatigue means more results. Other people rest too long, lose focus, and turn the workout into a random session with no rhythm. Both are a problem. Rest matters because performance matters. If you start your next set too early, you may be too tired to do quality reps. Your form gets worse, your reps drop, and the exercise becomes less effective. On the other hand, if you rest too long every time, the workout loses intensity and structure. For most hypertrophy-focused training, a good starting point is around 60 to 90 seconds for easier movements and around 90 to 150 seconds for harder compound exercises. The main thing is consistency. Don't rest based on mood. Use a timer. And there's another important point here. More sets are not always better. A lot of people keep doing extra sets after performance has already dropped. That's what people often call junk volume. It feels like hard work, but it doesn't always give you better results. Sometimes it just adds fatigue. The fix is simple. Rest with purpose, use a timer, and stop chasing endless sloppy volume. So let's quickly recap the 5 calisthenics mistakes that may be killing your gains. Number 1, not training with enough intensity. Number 2, skipping progressive overload. Number 3, going too fast and losing control. Number 4, neglecting pulling movements. And number 5, having no structured rest periods. If you fix these 5 things, your training becomes much more effective immediately. And here's the truth. Most people don't have a motivation problem. They have a structural problem. They are working hard, but not in a way that gives their body the right signal to grow. So here's how to apply this. Starting with your very next workout, choose exercise variations that challenge you and bring you close to failure with good form. Control the lowering phase of each rep. Track your reps, sets, or progression. Include both pushing and pulling exercises in your routine, and use proper rest instead of random breaks. A good workout is not just about doing more. It's about doing the right things in the right way, consistently. Now that you know what not to do, the next step is learning exactly what to do. Watch my complete calisthenics routine next, because now that you know the mistakes, I'll show you the right structure to follow from start to finish. And before you go, tell me in the comments which mistake you were making 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Subscribe to Bodivy for smart home workouts, better fitness, and real results.